Good morning, folks. Thanks for tuning in to our second segment of Technical Tuesdays here at Hanover. My name's Dustin Reed. I will be presenting as Mr. Prest Brick today. Alongside me here is Chris Slusser. Chris will be presenting as Mr. Prest Paver. Our main goal today is to help you as an audience get a better understanding what the true difference between a Prest Brick versus a Prest Paver is. Now, just to start off with a little story, I actually did receive a call yesterday from a contractor, and he was looking for pricing on a 6-inch by 6-inch Prest Paver. And my response to him was, "Are you sure you're looking for a paver? Because we can make these babies in the 6x6 also." So he came back to me and he's like, "Well, what's the difference and does it really matter?" And my response was, yes, it does matter. These brick right here have capabilities that these also have, but they're not, they don't work in conjunction with one another. So, and we'll get more into that as we move along here. To start, Chris is going to explain what these two products are composed of.
Like Dusty had stated, we're a pretty diverse company, so we have a lot of lines of hydraulically pressed products that we can offer. Two that we want to concentrate though on today are our Prest Paver and our Prest Brick. And we'd like to actually show you, to start, the aggregate makeup in these particular pieces, just so you got a better understanding of why, what, and where. As you can see, this is a pretty aggressive aggregate mixture, which basically is a 3/4 down to a screening that we put in our hydraulically pressed Prest Pavers. So this is very crude to start, but we want to give you an idea of just the aggregate makeup. But we're going to be making this out of this. And this is a wet slurry mix. So we're actually pouring a wet slurry into a mold. Hydraulic press takes place for about 7 seconds. We turn that liquid into a solid in about 7 seconds. It's pretty phenomenal to see, and I'm still impressed with it after 20 years of walking past and seeing it. As far as Dusty is concerned, he has the Prest Brick line for us here. As you're going to see, that's a lot finer mixture there. And when we're feeding this into the press itself, this is what we call our dry mix. This material, you can actually take it in your hand, almost create a snowball out of this product. Goes into the fed into the molds. Hydraulic press takes place there, and it's a little bit more of what maybe people would say the cookie cutter sheet press, but we'll be pressing out maybe 10, 15, 20 square feet of this particular product at one time.
Yeah, and to add to that, Chris, this is actually a dry mix as opposed to a wet mix over here for the Prest Paver.
Yes, exactly. Now, the big thing is, what's the big thing, Dusty? No match. Yep. We are not going to be able to give you, and I'm going to start with the worst case scenario because we do a lot better after this. Okay, this is actually our matrix 2232. So an M, that means Prest Paver for us. That means wet mix, most importantly. And then we've got our B9 2233. The B9 stands for brick. Again, that tells us that is a brick dry mix. But seeing these two together, boy, it looks like we swung and missed, right?
Absolutely.
And we can't always control that due to the aggregates and such that come into us. But there we got it, darn close anyways. So that's our charcoal, which we can get very close to matching, but it will not be an exact match. Let's show them actually the 1983, which is probably one of our best matches there is. So if a designer calls us and says, "Hey, you know, I want to do Prest Brick, Prest Paver mixture," well, we're going to check it out on the shelf and see if we can come up with a good match for you. If not, we'll let you know.
Yeah, so to add to that, Chris, how about you show them what the designer will be receiving when the request samples?
Absolutely. So most of you maybe tuning in have already seen this beautiful box that we make. This is basically our candy box. This is our Prest Paver box that majority of the designers have already on hand. And we just want to be very clear that this is a Prest Paver. This is a slab. This is not designed to be driven upon, even though the aesthetic appeal drives more and more people towards it. And Dusty's holding their...
This is the Prest Brick also. And to add to that point, a great advantage of the Prest Brick is I can be used in a vehicular and pedestrian application. Now, I don't know if Mr. Prest Paver over here can say the same thing.
I cannot, but I have the ability to span 24 inches in length.
That you do, Chris, that you do. But I can be produced in multi-sided patterns, circle patterns, and fan patterns to add a distinct look to your project.
Yeah, that's good, but I can be produced up to 48 inches in length.
That you can, but are you produced with spacer lugs?
I am not, but...
So a great advantage for me as a Prest Brick, with spacer lugs, it adds for an easy install, creating a uniform joint.
Absolutely. And one thing, though, we cannot forget, I can provide 4,000 custom collars in this beautiful mixture. So aesthetics, I may have you there.
That you do, Chris, that you do. So
we would like to sort of end this presentation. We're glad you guys joined us today. We think this is a very important topic. And if you have any questions, please email us, give us a call.
Yep, and just know, the next time you call in and you're asking for a 2-foot by 4-foot paver and also a 4-inch by 8-inch brick, we're going to ask the question, are these laying together? Because if so, we're not going to be able to match these directly, as we stated earlier. So thanks for joining.
Oh, we can't forget, 2 weeks. Another one of these Technical Tuesdays with Mr. Larry Action Jackson, who will be presenting on to bevel or not to bevel.
Yep, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we discussed today.
So we'll look forward to seeing you then, and thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks.